Barbie. We're almost there. The sign says the Dude Ranch is only 1 mile away.
Terrific. I wonder how Dallas is doing back there in the horse trailer. This road is kind of bumpy.
I'm sure she's fine. Besides, we'll be there in a minute or two.
Wow, Ken, what beautiful scenery this is. Look at all the cactus and the tumbleweed. Oh, we're definitely out in the country now.
This really is a great part of the country. There's history everywhere. They say there are even deserted gold mines up in the hills. After the miners got all the gold they could out of one mine, they would move on to another location and leave the old mine behind.
Boy, that sounds exciting. Maybe we can find one of those mines when we go out horseback riding.
It shouldn't be hard. I'm sure the owner of the Dude Ranch can show us where to look.
Hey, look! There's the sign. It says, "Welcome to the BARBIE Ranch." What a coincidence!
The BARBIE Ranch. You know, Barbie, sometimes I think you're the luckiest girl in the world.
Oh, wow, look at this place. It's as if we stepped back in time. I'll bet nothing has changed here in 100 years. Oh, what a great old wooden building that is. And look at that corral.
Hey, here comes somebody over to the car. He's a real old-timer. From his appearance, I'd say he was the owner. Let's get out and say hello.
Hey there! Howdy, y'all! What brings you two out here to the country?
We're here to spend the weekend on the Dude Ranch. You wouldn't happen to know where we could find the owner?
Well, little lady, I reckon I might. You're looking right at him. I'm Cactus Clem.
Oh, well, we're pleased to meet you, Mr. Cactus.
Mr. Cactus. I've been called a few good names in my time, but that beats them all. Mr. Cactus. Oh, doggies, that's rich. Listen, why don't you just call me Clem?
Okay, Clem, I will. Oh, by the way, I'm Barbie, and this is my boyfriend, Ken.
I'm pleased to meet you, sir. Barbie and I are really looking forward to this weekend.
And I see you brought your horse with you. Maybe you ain't such greenhorns as I thought.
Oh, yes, sir. That's Dallas. She's a golden palomino.
You don't say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now, let us just get that little filly out here where we can take a gander at her.
I'll get her, Barbie.
Here, let me help.
My lands, that is one fine-looking piece of horse flesh.
Isn't she beautiful?
Yep, she's a real looker, all right. You wouldn't by any chance be planning to enter her in the big horse show tomorrow, would you?
Horse show? We didn't know anything about it, did we, Ken?
We sure didn't. But now that you mention it, it sounds like a good idea. Why not enter Dallas in the show? You never know, Barbie. With your luck, you just might win a blue ribbon.
Well, I don't know. Dallas has never been in a horse show before.
Heck, that don't matter none. You can still enter her. Ain't you never heard about beginner's luck?
Well, why not? I've got nothing to lose by trying.
That's the Western spirit. Now, let's take Dallas over to the corral and let her meet the other horses. Then we'll head on over to the ranch house. It's almost supper time. Cookies are rustled up a big pile of barbecued ribs and corn on the cob.
I'm starving.
Oh, you're always hungry.
I should hope so. He's still a growing boy. Now, come along, you two. Old Clem's going to introduce you to the other folks on the ranch. I think you're going to like it here.
Clem introduced Ken and me to all the people on the ranch. We met the cowboys, the other guests, and Mrs. Murphy, the cook. She fixed a delicious dinner. After eating, we all gathered around the campfire. Clem had an old guitar, and one of the other cowboys played the banjo. I sat next to Ken under the starry sky. It was so romantic.
Okay, Miss Barbie. We've all sung our songs. Now it's your turn.
Gee, I don't know. What could I sing?
Oh, come on, Barbie. You've got to know something.
Well, how about Betsy from Pike? I think I remember all the words.
Betsy from Pike it is. And a darn good choice at that. It's one of my favorites. We'll all join in on the chorus. Okay, boys, let her rip.
Oh, don't you remember sweet Betsy from Pike, who crossed the big mountains with her husband Ike, with 2 yoke of cattle, a large yellow dog, a tall Shanghai rooster, and 1 spotted hog. One evening quite early they camped on the Platte. 'Twas near by the road on a green shady flat, where Betsy, sore-footed, lay down to repose. With wonder I gazed on that Pike County rose. The Shanghai ran off and their cattle all died. That morning the last piece of bacon was fried. Poor Ike was discouraged and Betsy got mad. The dog drooped his tail and looked wondrously sad. Oh, don't you remember sweet Betsy from Pike, who crossed the big mountains with her husband Ike, with 2 yoke of cattle, a large yellow dog, a tall Shanghai rooster, and 1 spotted hog. Oh, don't you remember sweet Betsy from Pike? 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 Oh, don't you remember sweet Betsy? Later that evening, we were all bunked down for the night. I was sound asleep when I was awakened by the noise of my window shutters rattling in the wind. A big storm was brewing high in the hills above the ranch. I could hear the rumble of thunder off in the distance. Soon it began raining. I decided that I had better go out to the corral and make sure that Dallas wasn't frightened by the storm. I got dressed quickly and started down the hall. When I passed Ken's room, his door opened.
Hey, Barbie. Where are you going at this hour of the night?
I was just going to ask you the same question.
I thought I'd walk down to the corral and check up on Dallas. She might be frightened by all this lightning and thunder.
I was just headed there myself. Come on, we'll go together. But let's hurry up. I'm worried. By the time we reached the corral, the rain was falling harder. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed across the sky. In the glow of the flickering blue light that followed, I saw that the gate to the corral had been blown open by the storm. I looked inside for Dallas. It was then that I realized that my worst fears had come true. Dallas was gone. Oh no, what can we do?
Nothing right now. I'll bet that the thunder frightened her, and when the wind blew the gate open, she ran off. We had better wait until morning. Then we'll get Clem and the boys to help us search.
Oh, but what about tonight? Dallas is all alone out there in that storm.
Don't worry, Barbie. I'm sure she'll be all right. We'll find her in the morning. Just you wait and see. Now, come on. We'd better go back inside. This rain is really coming down now.
Ken walked me to my room. I went back to bed and tried to fall asleep, but I couldn't. The wind howled and whistled around the corners of the ranch, and the rain beat against my window pane. I was so sad, I felt like crying. All I could think about was poor Dallas, all alone out there in the stormy night.
when it seems that every day keeps turning out blue. When it seems the things you want just slip away from you. When it seems your lucky break is never gonna show. Hold on, darling, don't let go. You're gonna walk a little louder. You're gonna sing a little louder. And when the hurting's over, you'll discover that you're stronger than before. You know you've always been a fighter, so just grab a little tighter. Hold on, darling, don't let go. You're gonna walk a little prouder. You're gonna sing a little louder. And when the hurting's over, you'll discover that you're stronger than before. You know you've always been a fighter, so just grab a little tighter. Hold on, darling, don't let go. You're gonna walk a little louder. You're gonna sing a little louder. When the hurting's over, you'll discover that you're stronger than before.
It's funny how fast the weather can change out here in the country. The next morning when I woke up, the storm was gone, and in its place was a bright blue sky and a warm sun. I had hardly slept all night. Every time I was about to fall asleep, I would remember what had happened to Dallas and wake right up again. So when the dawn came, I went to Ken's room to wake him up. I wanted to make sure we got an early start. When I knocked on his door, Ken was already up and dressed.
Good morning, Barbie. I'm all ready to go. Let's go find Clem and tell him what happened last night.
We found Clem out by the stable feeding the horses.
Well, I'll be hornswoggled. That little filly of yours must have been powerful scared to run off like that. We'll saddle up 3 of my horses and go find that palomino of yours, missy.
But how will we know where to look? She could be miles away from here by now.
Just listen to old Clem, little lady. I've been roaming around them hills since I was knee-high to a gopher. I know every canyon and valley for 100 miles around. We'll find Dallas by noon, or I'll be a desert rat's uncle. Now, come on, enough talking. Let's head out and start the search.
Clem, Ken, and I went to the corral and saddled up 3 strong horses, then started out to find Dallas. As we were leaving the ranch, we saw everyone arriving for the horse show that day. There were lots of beautiful horses of many breeds and colors. I guess I won't be entering the horse show after all.
Don't be so sure of that, Barbie. I think Clem will be able to find Dallas. He sure knows his way around these hills.
It certainly seemed that he did. We rode out of the ranch, turned off the main road, and started down the trail which led up into the hills. The trail wound around big boulders and gigantic cactus plants. Soon we were high above the ranch. From our vantage point, we could see for miles down into the broad valley. I called out for Dallas, hoping she might hear me.
Tighten up those saddles and hold on, 'cause from this point on, the trail's going to get a lot rougher. We're headed up into the high hills now. I got a hunch I just might know where that horse of yours is hiding.
Oh, Clem, do you really? That's wonderful. Are we near?
It's just a short piece further, up by Eagle Rock Pass. There's an old abandoned gold mine there called the Golden Lady. Ain't been no mining done there in nigh on to 50 years now.
Well, that must be one of the mines we've heard about, Barbie. We said we wanted to visit one, but it could be under nicer circumstances. Come on, Clem. Lead the way.
Okay, now watch out for loose ground. That storm and rain might have loosened up the ruts a little.
Tell me, Clem, what makes you think Dallas will be there at the old mine?
Plain old horse sense, Miss Barbie. If you want to find a horse, you gotta think like a horse. Now, the way I figure, if I was a horse out in the wild and it was raining like tarnation, I just might start hunting around for some shelter. The Golden Lady is the only safe cover in these hills, so it just stands to reason that she might, I say might, be there.
Oh, Clem, I do hope you are right. Come on, let's go. Slowly and carefully, the three of us made our way up the steep trail that led to the abandoned gold mine. By now, the sun was high overhead, and the hills were starting to heat up. All the way up the side of the mountain, I called out for my lost horse. Dallas! Dallas! Where are you? My voice echoed back to me off the stone walls of the canyons below. Soon we reached the entrance to the Golden Lady.
Well, here we are, the Golden Lady Mine. In her day, she was quite a spot.
But look at it now. It's kind of creepy. All the rusty old tools and crumbling mining wagons. We'd better be careful.
That's right, Ken. These old mines start to get a little weak after so many years. And that rain last night didn't help either.
But where's Dallas? I thought you said she would be here.
I said she might, and she might well be. But if she's here, she'll be hiding down inside the mine.
Down inside that spooky old mine? Oh, we've got to get her out now.
That's just what I had in mind. But first, we better tie up our mounts, or we'll be walking home.
We tied our horses to an old tree nearby, and with Clem leading the way, we started down into the mine. Clem lit a kerosene lantern he had brought with him. It cast weird shadows on the walls of the dark old mine.
Now watch your step, folks. You could slip and fall real easy on all this loose rock.
I held on to Ken's arm for safety as we made our way deeper and deeper into the mine.
Tell me, Clem, how far down does this mine go?
That's hard to say, Ken, my boy. I've never been all the way to the end, but I guess it's a far piece. Judging from all the gold they brought out of this here mine, they must have dug halfway to China.
All the way down the mine shaft, I called out, Dallas! Dallas! My voice reverberated through the long, dark tunnel. Suddenly, we heard a sound from around a bend in the mine.
Did you hear that?
Dallas? Dallas? Is that you? As we rounded the bend, Clem held out his lantern in front of us. There in the flickering light, I saw a beautiful sight. It was Dallas. I could tell by the look in her eyes that she was as glad to see us as we were to see her. Come here, girl. Poor horse. Dallas came right up to me and rubbed her nose against my neck. I was so happy, I grabbed Clem and gave him a big hug. Oh, thank you, Clem. We would have never found her without your help.
Oh, it weren't nothing. I'm just glad we found her, that's all. Now, let's start on out of here.
I'm all for that. This place gives me the creeps.
You can say that again. Come on, let's go. Clem led us back the way we came, and soon we were back outside in the bright sunlight.
I told you I'd find that pretty little filly for you, Miss Barbie. Now, if we hurry up, we can still make it back in time for the horse show.
Oh, golly, I forgot all about that. Come on, let's go. Quickly, I switched the saddle from the horse I had ridden and put it on Dallas. Clem led the other horse, and we started down the long trail back toward the ranch. We rode as fast as we could, but by the time we arrived back at the Dude Ranch, the horse show was almost over. Gee, I hope we're not too late. It looks like we may have missed the judging.
No, they still got a couple of horses left to judge. I'm sure we can still get Dallas in the running.
Clem is going to go talk to the officials, Barbie. I'll bet he'll see to it that Dallas can still be in the show.
The judges listened to Clem's story of how Dallas had run away during the night and ruled that she could still be in the show. I gave her a quick grooming, and soon we found ourselves in front of the judges and a whole grandstand full of spectators. I was nervous, but Dallas didn't seem to mind at all. She pranced and galloped around the ring like a real pro. What a beautiful horse she is, I thought. Even if she doesn't win any prize at all, I know she is the most special horse in the world. We got a nice round of applause, and soon it was time for the judges to announce the winner.
This year's blue ribbon for the best horse in the show goes to Dallas and her owner, Barbie.
Oh, hey, Barbie, you won, you won!
That's beginner's luck for you.
I was so surprised I could hardly speak. The judges called me to the reviewing stand and handed me a beautiful blue ribbon. I was very proud of Dallas. After the cheering died down, I made a short speech. Thank you! Thank you, everyone! I'm glad you agree with me that Dallas is a wonderful horse. But I've got to tell you that we wouldn't be here to accept this ribbon if it wasn't for the help and courage of a very special person. I'd like to share this honor with him. Let's hear it for Cactus Clem! Yay!
Oh, doggies. Don't mention it, Miss Barbie. I'm just glad I could help. I said if I couldn't find her, I'd be a desert rat's uncle, and I sure didn't want to have to live up to my word.
After the show, I took Dallas back to the corral. I fed her a bright red apple and a handful of sugar. Now you be a good girl and don't run off again. Tomorrow morning we'll be starting back home. Dallas whinnied as if she understood exactly what I was saying to her. Later that same evening, Ken and I, along with all the other visitors on the ranch, had a farewell party. Clem built a roaring bonfire, and the ranch hands soon arrived with their guitars and fiddles. We all sang our favorite country songs as a big silver moon rose up over the mountains.
In a cavern, in a canyon, excavating for a mine, dwelt a miner, 49er, and his daughter Clementine. Light she was and like a fairy, and her shoes were number 9. Herring boxes without boxes, sandals were for Clementine. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine.
Well, Barbie, this turned out to be a pretty good vacation after all, didn't it?
Oh, Ken, it was wonderful. Even when we get back to the city, I'm sure I will always remember our trip to the country. Life on the farm is kinda laid back. Nothing a country girl like me can't